Hello everybody, am I late to the party? Welcome back to my channel, Leilani of Barbados. Okay, there are a few things we have to talk about today. We have to talk about in the United Kingdom, Dan Wooten scandal, Prince Harry court case rejections, and then we're gonna go stateside and talk about Harry and Meghan versus the Beckhams. And we also have to talk about their new house purchase in California. Let's just get right into it. Dan Wooten has had a very illustrious career. Dan Wooten was the first to get the scoop on the Megxit situation. I can't remember right now if he got a leak that they were moving to Canada or to Africa, but he was the first to break that. And his career has skyrocketed ever since then. And of course, the Sussexes have been pissed off with him ever since then. I like his hard-hitting, honest journalism. I remember when he interviewed Thomas Markle, he got Thomas Markle to admit that Meghan does like to tell some lies. And she's been doing it since she was a little girl. I respect him as a journalist. I don't know if I can talk. Well, I can't really talk about the scandal. It's so seedy, and the language that I would have to use to describe what is going on, YouTube doesn't like it very much. So I'm not going to be able to talk about all the ramifications of the allegations, but I will watch the space and I will see what comes out of it. I really hope that his career is not ruined from this. Lady Colin Campbell has commented on the situation by saying that there is nothing abnormal. I will tell you this much. When I read what was going on and the allegations, it made me feel quite sick. All I can say is that I wish him the best and I will watch how it pans out to see what I can report on. I hope his career is not ruined. Anyways, to the court case. Prince Harry, the Judge Fancourt, love his name, by the way. I can't get over his name. I love it so much. Judge Fancourt has rejected several aspects of Prince Harry's case, mainly due to the statute of limitations, which I had discussed. Okay. I don't need to give myself credit, but I did think it was a bloody long time that he took to come out with these allegations. And if something was bothering you so badly day and night that you were thrown to the wolves and people were trying to protect King Charles, Queen Camilla, Prince William, Princess Catherine, but using you as a scapegoat and the lamb to slaughter and all these things, wouldn't you have collected some evidence about that? Instead, he sat up in court and he said, well, why doesn't the newspapers tell me how they got this information? I'm here to find out. No, you're not. You're here to prove your case so that you can win it. This is very damning for his court case because credibility is everything, and I think he is not a credible witness at this point. I remember hearing that there were stacks and stacks of documents and evidence and all that, but it was not presented. And it makes me wonder, what were his lawyers actually trying to achieve? Was it just a cash grab for them? Were they like, well, this is a high profile case. That's good for my career. I can get some quick money because they're stupid and they're going to keep paying me to present this nothing burger of a court case, but at least prepare your client. And then of course people are saying, well, he probably was prepared but did not take any advice. There was definitely no preparation. I don't know. It's quite sad. So basically the judge has thrown out that the phone hacking thing, just throw it out because you have no proof. The judge has also said there's a statute of limitations on these complaints. And one quote from Judge Fancourt was that this is some Alice in Wonderland type stuff. And I think he's mainly referring to this idea that they were targeted more than other people in the royal family, because that's simply not true. I don't know if you've been reading the Palace Papers by Tina Brown, but in chapter 13, I will just read you a little excerpt. Kate was relentlessly pursued in London. She was hounded when she left her Chelsea apartment in ways reminiscent of the harassment of young Lady Di. He goes on to say, as she walked through Paddington Station or an airport, barbaric photographers yelled, bitch, whore, slag, look this way, to try to get a rise out of her, just as they had with Diana. It goes on to talk about that her job, she worked at Jigsaw, and her job had to help her to come out and, come in because she was constantly hounded by photographers. And her way of dealing with it was that she said, well, I'll just go out and give them the photo they want, give the people what they want, and then I'll come back in. And when I leave, everything will be much easier. She rose above it. I mean, wow. And I just wanted to ask, at which point did you ever see Meghan Markle when she lived in the UK or anywhere hounded in this way? Look at the amount of photographers, policemen. Never did Meghan go through this. It is insane and disingenuous and recreating history, okay, Harry? To say that you and Meghan received worse treatment from the press than Catherine. That's insane. And that Catherine was protected? Well, Okay, maybe she could be protected because she paid her goddamn dues. Anyway, let's move back stateside. Victoria Beckham and David Beckham have fallen out with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. As you know, the Beckhams attended the Sussexes' wedding, and even when they moved to California, which is where the Beckhams live, the Beckhams have embraced them wholeheartedly. And in fact, Victoria Beckham was kind enough to give Meghan Markle the contact for her hairdresser. Well, apparently this is where the problems start. Meghan Markle then accuses Victoria Beckham of leaking to the press that she goes to this particular hairdresser, Victoria Beckham's hairdresser. And Victoria Beckham was pretty much like, bitch, I've been famous before you were born, honey. Victoria Beckham was like, you don't even know what it's like. I would never dox the likes of you because I know what it's like, okay? Let me tell you my opinion on what the hairdresser thing is about. Where do I start? Okay, so a lot of white passing women who have very kinky afro hair are stupidly paranoid about people finding out that their hair is not naturally straight. So they get extremely scared of somebody saying what is going on with their hair. And I can tell you what's going on with Meghan Markle's hair. Meghan Markle has relaxed or chemically treated her hair, chemically straightened her hair to appear like Caucasian hair to the nth degree. It's probably burnt out, and she's using hair pieces and sometimes wigs. She doesn't want anybody to know that. So the first person that shows up and is like, oh, I know where your hairdresser is, she gets completely insane. But it's not just white passing women or black women or whatever that want people to know nothing about what they do to their hair, because I went to this hairdresser in the UK to do braids. So I went to this African hair salon, which was very modest. The AC was natural AC, if you will. Doors open. Okay. I went there and they were lovely and it was amazing, and I got on very well with the owner, and she told me that a lot of high profile celebrities come to her because they don't want people to know at their high profile salon what they do with their hair. So they will buy the extremely expensive hair from their high profile salon and then come to her humble establishment to get them installed, the hair pieces. Because I guess they don't want somebody walking around with like this blonde hair piece, which is a fringe, right? Okay. I don't know, whatever. Their blonde hair pieces, like where they go for their blowout and their blonde highlights, they don't want those people knowing that in fact this hair is not even theirs. So, you know, I don't know if they can't just cover it, you know, just put it like on a petri dish or whatever and just cover it and just walk through the salon, right? No, they just are so afraid that somebody's gonna say, oh my God, that's superstar number 123. Can you believe that's not even her blonde hair? So she would get these celebrities going there, which was very comforting to me because I was, you know, in good company, of course, as a celebrity myself. I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah, I do a lot of white women, which was hard to believe because the entire salon is full of black women doing braids. But yeah, these are the lengths they go through just to not let people know what's going on with their hair. Women are we're just a lot, aren't we? Anyway, getting back on track. This is so upsetting to Meghan that somebody found out her hairdresser, who could then potentially find out what's on her like list on the computer of all the relaxers and all the stuff that she uses to make her hair look like a Caucasian woman's hair. And they fell out over that. And of course, Victoria Beckham would never have done that to anybody because Victoria Beckham has been through a lot too with the press. I mean, I think all of us know exactly what Victoria's breasts are doing at all times. Like, I feel like I know her breasts. They're my friends. I know when they're out here in the black, you know, dress. I know when they look in the wedding dress. I am very much besties with her breasts because people were so focused on her breast implant and she went through so much with that. And I mean, why would she ever dox another celebrity, I guess you have to call it? But she would never do it. She's a very private woman. She has done her best to keep her mouth boop. You know, even as a Spice Girl, she was the posh Spice. So she really did act like the posh Spice. She didn't go out there and get into any scandals and craziness and whatever. Plus, like, she has grown children. One is married to like a very wealthy woman. One is a footballer. Like, she has an actual life. Who does she want to talk to about Meghan Markle's hairstylist? She has a business, listen, multi-million-dollar businesses and stuff. Why does she want to talk about you and your hair, Meghan Markle? And even if the Beckhams liked the Sussexes at first, once they did the Oprah interview and threw the royal family under the bus, we know that David Beckham was not having any parts of that because he's been vying for a knighthood for the longest time. So he would want to stay on the good side of the royal family. And by the way, he does deserve a knighthood. Because if they had just sat down in their house, having removed themselves from the royal family and become free birds that can now sing, just sing in your house though. In your cage, in fact. But of course, the worldwide privacy tour that they are on has led them to Malibu, the permanent residence of paparazzi. Malibu is where all the celebrities get papped, and they're moving there. And Meghan Markle, being uniquely unlikable, would have been criticized either way. But then to move to Malibu, where she says she's downsizing, because I guess those hair pieces, honey, and those wigs that she be wearing do be costing a lot of money, because now she has to downsize her house in order to pay for this hairdresser, which Victoria Beckham goes to. I'm trying to be serious. Arguably, the houses in Malibu would have a much higher value than the ones in Montecito. I think you could move to anywhere else. What's that place? Compton? Move to Compton. Get back to your roots. The houses there, I'm sure, are much cheaper than Malibu and Montecito. Downsize there. But of course, she'll never do that because that would mean she's black, I guess. But there's this whole thing of being markled, which mainstream media has now gotten into. And there's two schools of thought with that. Are you markled if Meghan Markle chooses not to be your friend anymore, or are you markled when your association with Meghan Markle causes you to lose all good things in life? And I don't think David Beckham wants to lose the opportunity to become a knight, as Sir David Beckham. But which one do you think it is? Put down in the comments. Is markled, because I know there's a lot of debates on mainstream media as to whether it means that Meghan Markle chooses not to be your friend anymore, or whether it means that your career goes down by your association with Meghan Markle. To be markled, what does it mean to you? I think I will end it on that note. I just wanted to say thank you so much to all my subscribers and all of you who put in the comments that the scam that I talked about in my last video, that a lot of you have been through it and that you were really worried about my safety. This is why sometimes I don't like to tell you anything. Y'all are really like my family, you know, because I don't want to worry you. But at no time was I by myself with the realtor, aggressive realtor, only when it was to tour the bedroom. The apartment, the unit that we were touring, other groups were in there. And that's why I said that I thought the other tour groups had a much better relationship and conversation. I could overhear and see that their tour guide was not as aggressive as mine. So yeah. And then when we entered the apartment unit and when we left it, there were people touring at all times. It's just when he made me shut the door that was a bit sketch. But yeah, thank you so much for your concern. Everything was fine. My son and I were safe. You know your girl. I don't play. For those of you who are like, how are you so stupid to fall for that? I thought you were clever. Well, I'm not very clever. I'm very stupid. But at the same time, have you never won anything? If you've never won anything, please stop playing the lottery if you don't think there's any hope of winning things. Because out of all the people that come there, maybe a few of them do actually buy something there. That's normal. That's a normal marketing strategy that is implemented by many companies. The problem was that it was a bait and switch tactic. And when I got there, it was not marketing of a hotel room, but marketing of a timeshare, which of course, as you know, I am firmly against. But I appreciate your opinions too, because it wasn't many of you anyway that said anything about like, why would you do that? You know, it was most of you have been through it or know somebody who has been through it. And I think it really needs to be shut down. And I will continue to follow the lawsuits and see if I can tell you more about what is really happening with that, because it has to only be a matter of time. I have complained to a lot of people, including the Universal Studios, Disney, and all of it. Yeah, so I have complained to all of the entities to see what they can do to stop this from happening to other people. So I am looking out for that. But anyway, thank you again so much for watching me. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And please keep in touch with me. Email me, tell me what you thought in the comments. And yeah, I love you very much. And you know that. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Please subscribe to Valentine's Playroom. It's my son's children channel. So if you have any bambinos around who might enjoy adventures with an island boy, share his channel with them, please. Thank you.